Welcome to Oak Ridge Heights, where the HOA fees are always high and the grass is always green. Here we have a charming, spacious, 2-story, 3-bedroom, 2 living room, and 1.5 bathroom house. It comes with a charming in-home library, in-home theater style living rooms for the 2 living rooms, and luxury updated appliances, electricity, and HVAC. Let's look into the property. Here you have your primary bathroom for all of your needs. Most of it can be covered here for the updated plumbing. You have the stairs leading up to the 2nd floor, and you have the 1st bedroom of the house. This is the main residence, which was used towards the elderly couple which used to stay there, along with their son-in-law and their daughter, along with their grandchildren, a set of triplets that had their nursery set up on the 2nd floor, which you will soon see. As you can see with this property, a lot of stuff is kept relatively simple, yet up to date. In this kitchen, you have an overlooking view of the surrounding area, surrounding neighborhood, and surrounding mountains. This living room is one of my favorite elements of the house, along with its ensuite library. I believe that for a family, it is the perfect place for your children's sleepovers. Here we have an office space and a continued office space leading on towards an area with its own ensuite balcony, which overlooks the perfect neighborhood and the perfect life you will live here. You have the master bedroom here, where you have your own wardrobe set, freshly updated and freshly handcrafted. And here you have the nursery, which has its own way of being able to look onto the secondary living room, and also a quite warm ambience with openable, freshly glassed and freshly cleaned windows. Always clean, always ready to be used for whatever your needs may be. It can be updated to an office space, it can be updated towards anything, but I recommend keeping it exactly the same. This home is a beautiful property with a starting cost at around $200,000. We hope you do consider giving it a purchase, or consider scheduling a tour of us, because this is truly a beautiful home for your beautiful family. You will be able to lead a life here, all 360 degrees, all 360 angles of this house. Truly beautiful. And you can buy it as soon as today. I did end up losing a big chunk of footage, which I still don't really understand how, which recorded a lot of the early parts of the building process, such as the layout and all that. But I believe it is shown throughout the later aspects of this video. So I hope you guys can stick around to see what this build ends up becoming. And you guys can sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Initially, I wanted to add a lot of details into the garage, but when I thought deeper into the story, which I kind of wanted to give this house, which I kind of didn't have, but I kind of did at this time, I kind of just decided against it. Because I especially knew that towards keeping the house looking good at all 360 angles, I probably should care less about the details when it comes towards the garage. I know that can be kind of important towards people, but it wasn't really towards me at the time. I initially wanted it to be a stone fencing kind of a balcony, but I didn't really like it that much in comparison towards the rest of the house, especially since I was going for more suburban, quiet sort of vibes. So it ended up being that this farm fence actually worked out pretty good, and it was a lot cheaper. Not that I'm particularly strapped for cash, as you can see. Um, it's just overall, I think, a lot more effective towards capturing the story, capturing the vibes, what this house is supposed to tell, you know? You know, I never really made a blue house, really, or really had blue as a color for one of my houses, unless it was like one of those container storage type of houses. But like for a regular suburban house, blue has never really been a color which I used. But it kind of grew on me for this build. I think you guys should let me know in the comments if it worked, didn't work, because I'm not really sure. So this could be like a staple which I could have across some of my videos. I just need to know if y'all think it looks good or not. Yeah. I initially wanted to have it be a complete full concrete jungle of sorts. There's a time skip here, which you're just about to see, which shows that I didn't choose to do that at all. I ended up realizing that I wanted to make space for a small garden or a tree of sorts. And as you can see shortly, that's exactly what I chose to do. I remember build hacks, which I used to watch in like 2022, 2021, which would consist of basically like combining the fences together to kind of get that sort of like vibe sort of thing. And I think doing that sort of thing actually really strengthened the house towards just kind of like giving it a bit more of a soul than just being some suburban place or just some basic house, because it's more than that. And I hope you guys can see that. Here, I was trying to figure out the room situation. It was actually kind of last minute when I decided the general layout of the house, because I knew that I wanted to have at the front entrance to be the landing area and then leading into the living room and dining room. But for everything else, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I was just really winging it because I wasn't exactly sure what was supposed to be what, where was supposed to be where. I kind of just came up with things along the way, and I think it turned out really good for that context. Here I'm working on the library. I think I initially wanted it to be some sort of like executive, like CEO boss's like office space, since I still wasn't fully sure on the story at this point. Um, but I knew that it would end up being kind of like a library sort of vibes, that type of thing. And I thought it turned out really strongly because using the logs in that custom color, it really helped make it seem like it was really like aged, lived in, that sort of thing. Because I think that's the general vibe which I've been trying to go towards throughout this house. And I hope it captures it well towards you guys, as I know it certainly does towards me. When I gave it a closer look, I realized that the relative like basic area with like the pre-built, pre stacked bookcases were relatively like not really all that detailed. So that's why I had chosen to take towards doing the cabinets in the way which I had done, and also adding those extra books throughout. So even if it's small detail, that it's still detail that can kind of be noticed if someone's really looking into the nitty gritty of the house. I really wanted the grill to look like it was by far one of the oldest things about the house, or one of the most worn down things about the house. Since I think, with the context of this family that currently lives there, I think that's probably one of the things which they use the most of the house or get the most use out of. Yeah. I think my initial idea for or like reference really behind this house was at Alaska Violet's attempt of trying to make what she believed to be an American house. I think it's kind of ironic to do it as a Canadian suburban home, but I don't really know. I knew that the main consensus of what I really build my houses to be are to kind of just be rusty lived in. They don't really have the sort of vibe of being clean and polished. I do want to continue making like more in line with actual detailed stories like Wendy Miller, for example, in the continuation of my builds with a sort of like ARG sort of style of going about things. But I'm not sure. Is that what you guys would want? Please let me know in the comments. I really would want to know.